we were going over different leg attack options, but I want to talk about how we can just get up from the 50-50 and start passing. And then also what to do when the person starts standing or getting to combat base, how we can still attack. We're gonna go over an inside spin and outside spin that I learned from Chris that's really, really awesome. But I just wanna start out kind of with a warm up of how to just come up in 50-50. So we talked about when we're in just our neutral position here, we can have loose ankles, right? Just kind of crossed because we're both trying to defend and attack. I'm gonna have better angles when I'm starting to get to the 80-20 position. But also, we're gonna have a lot of hand fighting. If I'm not outstretched, right, it's hard for Yofti to attack. So if I start hand fighting, depending on how he's attacking, getting collar ties, I'm keeping us connected and closer together. It's gonna be harder for him to stretch me out and start attacking the legs, right? So I have to be mindful though, because if I am slapping on some collar ties, he can go for some straight arm locks and stuff here, right? So he can get, sneaky with that. But if I feel like he's starting to attack a leg, right, I could decide to not play this game and I could decide to stand up, right? Maybe I'm like, I want to put my weight in this leg. I don't want him to be able to attack. So the easiest way for me to come up is I can hold on to him. I can get a collar tie just so I can get balance, but I can bring this leg back. I'm shifting to the hip of the outside leg. It's going to be very hard for me to just stand up like this, right? So I kind of almost tuck my leg back, my foot back behind his butt, almost like I was gonna go for like a leg drag, but I'm shifting my weight to the opposite hip, and I can still stay attached to him if I need a handle. But even if he had this leg over wrapped, right, I can still come up and put weight into it, right? So I'm bringing myself up and putting all my weight in this foot. So this is really hard now for him to get the attack, right? We'll look at options. Like I said, if I stand up fully, he can still have options from there to attack, or if I just stay in combat base. But I can fully come up to this position, and now what I want to do, there's a couple things. I can bring my hips forward and just start grabbing his ankles and opening up the legs, right? If I can do that, now I can either step over and step through like a high step, or if it's not too tight of an overwrap, I can just pull my leg out, right? And now I can start going into Toriando, different passes, leg drags, all that good stuff, okay? But if we're here, right, and he's locked pretty good, if I feel like he's tight here and his hips are coming up, he's got my knee line, I'm still concerned for an attack. So I can even come in and start just pushing his knees down, right, his knee and shin, to clear my knee line. If we clear my knee line, then I'm feeling pretty good, right, as far as the attack. Okay, from here, maybe I can like start backstepping. I can pull my leg out, come around, come down, right? Get into a nice cradle or pass however I'd like to. But if I feel like my leg is in serious trouble, right? We're here, like I need to clear this. So I'm gonna try and come into the knee, shin, ankle, whatever I can, and push down. Now I feel pretty safe, right? I can even come in and start getting an underhook and smashing Yofti. I know he misses this feeling. And come through, just like old times, man. And come in, it's hard to pass Yofti's guard, and get into this nice smashed position, right? So I really want to make sure I can get a grip. Ankles, push at the knee, right? We'll do that first one again. We're here, and just the sit up. So I'm in this position, Yofti starts attacking, and I'm like, oh no, right? I wanna start staying close. I wanna start shifting my weight into that foot and coming up, okay? I don't wanna wait till he has like the attack on really, really tight. I can close the space then, but it might be kind of hard to start coming up, right? So here, I feel pretty good. I'm gonna get up to my other foot. I can use my hips, right? Use my hips to fling his legs forward, grab the ankles, I can split his legs apart, step this foot back, or I can step this over and I can start coming up to like a nice high north-south position, okay? Or if we're here, boom, boom, I can start coming in and pushing down the shin and the knee. I can start cutting through. I can pull the leg out. What'd you say? Like, yeah. Okay. And then come on down, nice cradle, right. Take the back, all that good stuff. Okay, let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3. We're gonna switch positions. You know, I'm getting to my 80-20. I wanna start attacking. We did all the heel hooks, leg breakers, ayokis, outside heel hook. But Yofti's like, I don't think so. I'm coming in to maybe try and attack, and he starts standing up. So he's gonna fully stand, okay? As he stands, I'm raising my hips up with him. And I need to keep this tight triangle, okay? So we're gonna go for an inside spin here. From here, what I wanna do, I can take the overwrap out, but I need to get to this foot. And listen guys, I do not like inverting. When Chris showed this, I was like, I don't think I'm gonna be able to do this, but I like love it for some reason. But it's very helpful using the leg grips and the hands. So it's not as difficult as it looks to spin underneath. But I need to get closer to this leg. So I'm staying above his knee, lifting my hips, keeping my feet safe. This top foot staying kind of behind towards his butt. I'm gonna do like an oblique crunch, bringing my elbow to this ankle so that I get, a little closer, stand back up. That was good if you can get that momentum. But I'm gonna cinch in so that I can get closer to this leg. And I get like an underhand grip on this ankle. Now this one, I'm gonna pull myself underneath, and this one's gonna come behind as well. So I'm just rotating myself. I have to be loose enough in the sense I'm not pinching my knees together because I need to be able to spin around his leg, but I don't wanna lose the knee line, and I wanna keep my hips up. So from here, now I'm looking at his butt, I got his calf, I'm gonna bring my partner down to the ground. He's gonna post, probably on his hands, and fall forward. So right now, I can prevent him from backstepping as I have this grip momentarily, okay? But I need to make sure that his knee is in my view. It's on my side of my hips. I can't let his knee pull through. That's why your legs have to stay tight. So if his knee pulls through this way, that's what he wants. He wants to clear the knee line. So I gotta start, if that happens, like pull through a little bit, I can cup the top of the knee and I've gotta pull him back, okay, and triangle the legs. So from here, if his foot was down here, this is when I wanna pass it. I've gotta pass it up to my opposite armpit, and we're gonna go for this backside heel hook. So I'm gonna pinch the toesies in my pit. I'm gonna come under his Achilles with the blade of my forearm, gable grip. Okay, from here, I wanna bring my elbows to my ribs and shoulders back, so I kind of puff the chest. And now I'm gonna start rotating to look up towards the ceiling as I thrust my hips right into the side of the knee. But Mike was talking about getting up on this shoulder, right? And this makes it a little tighter. It almost feels like you are actually driving the heel, like I've got his toes, but driving the heel a little downwards. I can feel it. I didn't even thrust yet. Yeah, I like that. And then you can just, I mean, this is quick though, so be cautious. You can just thrust your hip. So just being up on the shoulder versus kind of on the back, right? We're here, so you can play with that. Shoulders back, and right, like I'm rotating like up towards the ceiling and thrusting in, and then I can play with getting on the shoulder. So to do this again, right? We're here, I'm trying to attack, right? He comes up, he's like, I don't think so. I've got to keep my hips, I'm riding up as he gets up. Okay, I can cinch myself in to get closer to this leg, and now I'm gonna get an underhand grip. I pull myself underneath him, rotate, looking at his butt, bring him down. I need to keep this knee. Initially, I can hold this leg so he doesn't backstep right away, and I can start getting this nice heel hook hold, right? Just be really cautious with the heel hooks, guys. We've talked about this all week as we were doing attacks, but different levels are allowed to heel hook or not, different tournaments, things like that. Getting to the position's the hardest thing. We don't need to aggressively hit the sub on our partner, because this can really, blow out somebody's knee. So just be cautious. And, Yofti, escaping this, the right thing for him to do would be to backstep. He can't rotate the other way. He's gonna hurt his knee even more into the position. Yep. So here I'm pinching the toes underneath the pit, getting that blade of the forearm right under the Achilles, gable grip, shoulders back, always in all these attacks, leg attacks especially too, we want to bring our elbows to our ribs and shoulders back. Good posture. And then I'm going to start rotating my head up towards the ceiling as I thrust my hips right into the knee. Now we're going to look at what happens if they just get into a combat base. We're going to look at the outside spin. So same thing, right? We're here. I'm in my position. I'm attacking. Yofti gets up into this combat base, right? So from here, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring this top foot. I'm going to get to the small of my back and I'm going to rotate it to his opposite hip. Okay, so my foot is now there. Now we're going to look at a knee bar option. The knee bar can sometimes be a little finicky depending on how the person's responding. And otherwise it'll lead us right back to that backside heel hook option, okay? So from here, I like to start already trying to cup the knee. I'm square right now, right? We're kind of perpendicular, but I'm on the small of my back. I'm going to use my hooks to rotate myself. I want to spin like around his leg. So I get to this position. You can use your hands to also turn the knee. I'm going to clamp down my elbow to his like ankle so I keep hold. This foot's going to stay on the hip, and then this foot is just going to drop under his butt. I'm not going to push him away, but now all I'm going to do is kind of keep him in place. I'll like push down, and then I'm just going to lift my hips right into the knee. So we've got the knee bar, okay? If I feel like I can't get the knee bar or he's turning a little bit more, I can just drop my top foot right into the same position, and we're right back into that backside heel hook. Right, same thing. Got the nice pinch here. I like this finish now better with getting to the shoulder. We're here, right, and just bringing that heel down to the ground. Boom, nice and tight. If he feels me getting to this position and doesn't want me to heel hook him, he's probably going to go ahead and turn. And now we're right back into this same scenario, right? 50-50, he gets the combat base. I like to hold on to the leg some way, somehow, because I don't want him to just completely pull away from me. So here I've got almost like an X guard. My legs are very intentional and strong. I'm going to rotate around. I'm going to come on top, right under the butt. And now I'm just going to thrust my hips right into the knee. I'm clamping my elbow here, right, to keep his leg in place and cupping the knee. Then I can just force that bend, or if he bends, I'm going to bring my leg through, weave it, making sure the knee is right on this side of me. I can see his knee, and then I can go for that same heel hook, or if he back steps, right, we're right back into that 50-50. Does that make sense, guys? Yes. So we're here, he comes up, boom. So now he's not standing all the way, so I unlock, bring this top leg across to the hip, get square. Here I'll take the overwrap out. I'll start grabbing the knee as I shift to my opposite hip. Just a little shift. I bring this foot right behind his butt to keep him in place. I'm not pushing him away. I'm just keeping this like downward pressure so he can't pull his leg out. It locks it. I've got my elbow to the ankle, and then I'm cupping the knee and I just lift my hips right into the knee. Just like an arm lock, I'm thrusting my hips to the knee. You what? I'm holding his knee to keep it in place. Because like I said, this could be kind of a finicky position. He could rotate really easily, right? And if he rotates, boom, we're right here. I just make sure to catch his knee on this side, right, of me. I don't want it sliding through towards my feet. Then I can go for my attack here, or he backsteps and we're in the 50-50. And then I can start going for my other attacks from here, right? Okay? Any questions? Let's give it a shot. 1, 2, 3.